They said they couldn't do anything to help unless she actually made an appointment herself.
So when I
That
said,
just wasn't going to
well,
happen.
no, he's not actually waving a knife around or anything like that. Just told me there was
so hard to be there for her, but who's there for me?
Before she got ill, my partner Sandra was really into her career, and she worked long hours, but always seemed to be able to handle it. But then a couple of years ago, she started getting quite stressed. She was working later and later to keep up with the workload, and even at weekends, she found it almost impossible to relax. This went on for a few months and really started to put a strain on our relationship. Then one day I came home and found her in bed. This was really out of character for her, and I thought she must have taken ill at work and come home, but it turns out she hadn't gone to work that day. And she'd started driving to work but only managed to get halfway there. She started feeling sick and shaking and had to turn around and come back home. So I said to her, "You've probably gone down with the flu or something." Then she rolled over in bed and told me to go away. And that was about 18 months ago, and she hasn't been back to work since. She tried, but each time she got in the car, she started to shake and feel sick again. At the time, I didn't have a clue what was wrong with her. Now I realise that she was having some sort of nervous breakdown. And since then, things have just gone from bad to worse. She stopped wanting to go anywhere. We got some great friends. Well, we had some great friends, but they all seem to have fallen by the wayside. Seems we don't really socialise with them anymore. She doesn't want to see anyone anymore. And one day I came home and she was sitting in the kitchen. She had this knife in her hand, and I don't know if she was going to do anything. Thank goodness I got there in time, really, to take it away. So then I had to start hiding all the sharp things in the house so she couldn't or wouldn't hurt herself. And then she tried to take an overdose, so I had to hide all the pills. By now things had got really bad, and Sandra actually agreed to go and see her GP. And she was absolutely brilliant, and she prescribed her antidepressants. After a couple of months, you could really see a difference in her. She was feeling a lot more positive about everything, and was basically beginning to go back to the way she'd been before she got ill. But then after a few months, because she was feeling a lot better, she decided to come off the medication. She didn't cut down gradually or anything, she just stopped taking them. And within weeks, she'd plummeted back down again, and things seemed like they were even worse than before, or maybe it just felt that way because we'd had that glimpse of how she used to be, once she'd started to feel better. And I feel like I have to be with her 24 hours a day to stop her from hurting herself, but, with only one income coming in and a mortgage to pay and all that, and I have to do all the shopping as well because she doesn't want to leave the house. She tried going into town recently, but she started panicking and couldn't handle it, so she hasn't been back to town since. She was in such a state when I got home, I didn't know what to do. I gave her a cuddle, but it doesn't seem to make any difference what I do because it doesn't make her feel any better. I'm on the edge all the time, when I'm at work, when I'm at home, when I try and sleep, because I don't know how she's going to be or what she's going to do. Sometimes I just have a few drinks just to try and make it go away. Sometimes I go walking at 3 o'clock in the morning, stand on the beach and just scream my head off, let it all out somewhere where she can't hear me, because I've got to hold it all together for her. It breaks my heart seeing her like this. I love her and I want to be there for her, to support her, but sometimes I feel like I'm losing the plot myself. I remember asking myself the question, who cares for the carers? That was when Sandra was at her lowest point. I just felt the situation was dragging me down. And yeah, I began to worry about the state of my own mental health. So I went to see our doctor. To be honest, I was just expecting to come away with a prescription for myself for antidepressants. But instead, she told me about this carer support group. And to be honest, they've just been absolutely fantastic. I never realised that I would be able to share my experiences with other people who understood or had been through similar things. And yeah, I'd say it really helped me to hold everything together.